Great game on Saturday. Was certainly a lot of fun for our players and our team. It's always a blast to see the fans so active, making such an impact on our game. It was our most complete game that we've played to date. I think it showed what we're capable of. I think we were really solid in all three phases, but we still walked away with a lot of things that we can certainly fix. I know I say that every single week, but it's always true. Our players had a great practice today, this Monday, and they went and started attacking things that they can fix.
So Zach, you're on the right.
Coach, there's been a lot of talk nationally about your pregame speech and your aggressive play calling. I think Skip Bayless called it venomous vengeance. Just curious what your thoughts are on that and kind of how your words have been skewed a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know Skip at all. I've never had a conversation with him. I've watched him enough to know how often he gets it wrong. So, I mean, that sounds about right. But, I mean, ultimately, here's what I say. We're playing to win the game, right? And you saw a 15-second clip from a window view outside the house of what happens in the locker room, right? I know our locker room. I'm in the house 100% of the time. I know how our players felt going into that game. And I know what it takes to motivate our players. That's my job, to motivate our players, right? He has a job. I have a job too, to get out there and to perform on the field. But inside that house, they felt a certain way. They felt a certain way about a group stomping on the O. They felt a certain way about guys talking to him in the pregame. And I'm proud of those guys because what they decided to do is talk with their pads, right? They didn't want to do anything extra afterwards. They want to talk with their pads, and they did that on Saturday. I'm also grateful and can clearly acknowledge that the attention that we got this Saturday, in large part, was due to Deion and what he's doing to college football. And if anybody can't see what he's done for college football and how he's bringing excitement to college football, you're crazy, right? And I said that last week as well. He's done a lot for the game. He's building something over there. I think that's really, really clear. There's no secret there. But it wouldn't matter if I was playing my 10-year-old son on the other sideline. I'm going to do everything I can to win. If I'm playing Bill Belichick, I'm going to do everything I can to win. Did I go for it on fourth down? Yeah, I have every game this year. Right, I've gone for it 9 times. Did I go for a 2-point conversion? Yeah, I've done it 3 out of the 4 games this year. And if we play again tomorrow, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to do everything I can to win a game and everything I can to motivate my team. So, that to me is classless. What he's saying there, but I'm not really worried about it.
Second row, Eric.
Kind of to that point, transitioning from a lot of stuff going on the periphery to this week, how have you seen the team transition and I guess early look at Stanford?
Yeah, well, to that point, I'm going to talk about Stanford and Oregon from here on out. So what do I see? I mean, I see last time we played on the road, we didn't perform the way we want to. So it's an opportunity for us to go put a complete game together on the road. And just like I said after the game, you can't let your highs get too high and your lows get too low. Sometimes after an emotional win, where there's a lot of passion and energy in it, you can have a letdown. When we're certainly not looking to do that. We're looking to go out and perform again to our absolute best. Our guys, like I said, have the right mindset. They came in energized this morning, ready to work, ready to attack, anxious to watch film, and we're going to build off of what we've been building all season.
Second row on the right here, Jared.
You called this your guys' most complete performance to date. On the defensive side, what did you like the most? Like, what were you most impressed with after watching the film?
Like I said, I thought our coaches showed really good patience, right, of when to take advantage of opportunities, when to take risks. But on the same note, we were able to get a lot of things done with just rushing coverage and not feel like we had to throw everything at them to have success. We felt like we had an identity of who they were and what they had to do to be successful, and we felt like we took away their strength, right? We wanted to be able to get at their quarterback. Our defensive line did that, and we covered well in the back end, which allows you to get a good rush up front. So was proud of that.
All the way in the back, Matt.
Kind of touched on it there, but Stanford, they don't lead the conference in attendance. The atmosphere is probably going to be a little bit different than the last away game you guys were at. Just how important is it to bring your own juice to get a hot start in this game, to get the momentum going?
Yeah, you said it, right? I mean, this is a bring your own juice game, right? It's going to be a different atmosphere, but if you step on the grass and it means something to you, right, you're going to step on there and try to perform to a certain level because you have pride, in the game.
On the right, in the back, Trevor.
Just from a player-coach standpoint, how unique is the relationship that you have with Bo Nix?
I can't speak necessarily to it from a perspective of other coaches or what that looks like, but I love Bo. I love every player on our team. And Bo's done everything he possibly can to be a great teammate and a great player for Oregon. And he shows that every single day in the way he approaches everything that he does. So I'm always going to appreciate somebody that works as hard as he works, does what he has to do for our team to be successful and win, and operates the way he does each day.
Front left, James.
If Mace is unnecessary roughness because it's just after the whistle, though the quarterback was still up, the play was blown dead. What's your perspective on the two hits on Noah and Bucky when it appeared they were both down and after the whistle? And have you asked Merton Hanks for clarification as to why they weren't called?
Yeah, we send penalties in every week that we agree or disagree with, and I'm still waiting on feedback to see exactly what their perspective was. I watch the Mace clip a lot because you hate it because you see a team playing aggressive, and like I've said before, sometimes you're going to have aggressive penalties, but that one hurt because we're going to be off the field on third down again, and he has to have the awareness to stop. Right, and I don't know exactly when the whistle was blown in comparison to when the hit was finished. It's obvious that we had a sack already locked up. So I'm going to challenge Mace to slow down. Now on them not calling those other calls, I want to protect our players. I want to make sure we keep the game safe. They've been sent in. We'll see what they say.
Front right, Zach.
For the past couple of decades, this has turned into a really rich rivalry between Oregon and Stanford. There's been a lot of upsets. Notably in 2021, Oregon was number 3 and went down there and lost. How much do you make of that with your team? How much do you make that be known that they can't get complacent going into this game?
Yeah, it's no secret, and our guys know that, right? I mean, you certainly pointed out there's a lot of pieces that can feed into distractions and not playing to your best, right? And like I said, all you have to do is point to this season. When we went down to Texas Tech, we didn't feel like we performed our best. So we're going on a road, and it's an opportunity for us to prove that we can.
On the left, Eric.
You kind of swap between two different quarterbacks, maybe the challenges that presents and maybe if there are tendencies if one's in, one's not in kind of thing.
That both the guys that they have in there operate, a similar system. They both have the ability to run. One of their strengths is their quarterback run game. That's something that's hurt us at times this year, so we're going to get tested on that. But they both can operate the system. They're both athletic guys. Both do a really good job.
On the right, Jared, second row.
Yeah, following up on that, what stands out about what they do with their tight end, Eurosic? I hope I said that right.
Yeah, no, he's the catalyst for them on offense. They move him around in a lot of different places. He's a dynamic threat catching the ball. He's also a physical player in the run game. He's somebody that we're going to have circled every single play, figure out where he's at because they use him and they do a good job utilizing him in a variety of ways.
In the back, Matt.
Teams are always associated with certain styles or traits. Stanford's always been known to be good on defense. Just what do you see on film with this group?
Yeah, so I know their defensive coordinator relatively well. Bobby April is a guy that I've bounced ideas off of, and we've talked ball several times in his time back to Wisconsin. I certainly respect him a ton. He's done a good job, but what they do is they play sound defense, and they play sound defense, but they bring a lot of different pictures, right? They run a lot of different sim pressures. They do a variety of 3-deep zone and quarters. And even man. So you're going to see a lot of different things from them. I think they do a good job there. And I know it's early for them, but they're getting better and better each week on that side of the ball.
Front left, James.
For as much attention as gets paid to the quarterbacks and receivers in this league, and rightfully so, you're one of the few teams that might have an answer and a counter to that. How do you put a value or quantify the importance of what Kyrie is doing for you, not just this past week, but what he'll mean to you when you're playing the top 3 passing offenses in the country this season?
Yeah, we've challenged him every single week, and he keeps stepping up to the challenge. I'm really proud of Kyrie and the way that he's played. He hasn't let the moment get too big. I think we're all seeing what Kyrie's capable of, and we're going to continue to challenge him, and he's going to continue to make us better with the way he's performing on Saturdays.
On the right, Zach.
Said on Saturday that you expect to be without Noah for a few weeks at least, without getting into his injury. What's the mindset like with the other 2, 3, 4 backs in the locker room that you can kind of shoulder that load for him?
Well, first they hurt for Noah because they know this guy is a guy that steps on the field every single day and he works his tail off. He might not say a word. I mean, he's a guy that when you talk about guys that talk with their pads, that's Noah, and he's tough. This guy's from Peach County. That and anybody that hasn't been there wouldn't know, but if you've been there, you'd realize what that means. So those guys hurt for him, but they also know, okay, next guy up. How am I going to take advantage of those opportunities and make sure I don't let our team down in his absence? And we're going to miss Noah. You don't just replace Noah with another player, and especially his demeanor and his work ethic. But we've got some great backs in that room that are ready to fill those shoes.
Second row on the left, Eric.
To follow up to that, I guess, is can you get by with just using Jordan and Bucky, or do you kind of need a third guy to step up there maybe?
It takes what it takes, right? We're going to play as many guys that can play winning football for us and play at a high level. And we're fortunate. We're one of the teams in the league that are fortunate to have great backs. So I'm really pleased with the guys that we have in that room. I know we can get it done with the guys in that room. We'll see how people's role grow in the next few weeks as we adapt and adjust based on that.
Front left, James.
Would the Troy Franklin you inherited in the winter/spring of 2022 be capable of doing what he's doing right now? Would he have made the second touchdown? Would he have executed the second touchdown route to the way that he was able to? And how far has he progressed from the player that you inherited nearly 2 years ago?
Capable, absolutely, right? You know, what Troy's doing right now is tapping into the talent that he's always had, but I'm really pleased with his desire to continue to grow and get better each and every week. I tell you guys this each week, but if they do it in practice, they're going to do it in a game. Well, Troy does that in practice, right? He does it frequently in practice, and he's having a great season. But again, what I love about Troy the most is he could care less, right? He just wants to go out there and compete for his team. You see a guy go block, right, the way Troy blocks, right? That's something that sticks out to you. So that's the things that I continue to look for.
Second row on the left, Eric.
What stopped the 2-point conversion this time from working?
They in reality it wasn't covered right. So there was a guy in the zone. I think they were playing man. I'm not sure exactly what they were playing, but they kind of fell into place, and we never gave our guys that look. Right, the look was there, pre-snap, and then the guy that did come open was the 7 cut in the back of the end zone, and we weren't able to deliver it because we had pressure in the face. So they kind of fell a little bit into it, and then they applied pressure and got us before the ball got off.
Front left, James.
On the one true sack allowed, is Josh supposed to be able to get out as far to look like a wide 9, or does some other adjustment have to be made to try to avoid that?
Yeah, combination, right? Yeah, there's certainly his responsibility on that play, but we feel like schematically we can do a better job of enhancing that and making that better. So that's something, that was in our doctor's report on Monday, and something that we're going to continue to work on and fix.
That's all we have, Coach.
All right, thank you.
Appreciate it.